that sound? It's not funny. So here I'm just testing out what colours that I'm going to be using on this piece. I decided to use my half pans because I've been using the Artist Quality De La Rowney watercolours in the tube, and I don't know whether I'm just using too much of it, but they're not as opaque and wishy-washy as I want them to be. So I decided to go for the cadmium red hue, the Prussian blue, a random nondescript colour that I had already mixed in the palette, and an FW gold. The palette that I'm using is the Winsor and Newton Cotman set. I bought this a few years ago and honestly I absolutely love it. You get such a great range of colours, and I think I got it, I think it was about 30 quid when I bought it, but I was working in an art shop and I did get a discount, and that price could be completely off of what I actually paid for it. I got them that long ago, but honestly, like, I really recommend it, especially if you're going to start watercolour. This is just such a brilliant set. They also do a travel set as well, where I think you get 12 colours, and usually you can pick that up for about a tenner, so between like 10 to 12 pounds. And you can, once you've like used them, you can just pull the little half pans out, fill them up. I like to keep those, kind of use those if I'm like travelling, like obviously it's a travel set, duh. But I actually like to take them out and mix my own like palettes. Like I'll take the ones out of this one and just make my own up. I actually seen on Pinterest the other day, somebody had made their own like little travel set from like an old tin, and it looks so cute. I really want to make one, like, so bad. I've actually got this really old Golden Virginia tin that was my granddad's, and I think I've been looking for a purpose to use it. And I think using it as like a watercolour palette would be such a perfect use for this little tin, rather than just having it sat in the corner of like my room, not knowing what to do with it. It's like this really beautiful old like vintage style tin. Is anyone else like that, where you'll see something like in a shop, usually like around Christmas, and it's like products like in a tin, but the tin is so cool that you'll just buy the tin just for the tin? Like, the products, like, you'll use them, but like the tin is like where it's at. Like, that's the reason why I'm buying this. I remember like once we seen, it was like a big Marmite tin, and oh god, it was so expensive, and I was saying to Red, I was like, we should buy this, and he was like, no, I mean, like, I know that we like Marmite, but we're just buying the tin. Why would we use this tin? I'm like, I will find a use for this tin. Don't you worry, I will find a use for it. Sadly, he talked me out of it, and to be fair with you, I'm quite glad, because otherwise our house is just going to end up like a weird hoarding house between the two of us, and like, because we've got like that kind of collecting gene where we just want to collect random things. Oh my god, my foot just clicked. Well, my ankle just clicked. Ew, hurts. But yeah, on Pinterest, I've got like a whole board called Art Kits, and I just like save like loads of different images of people's like little art travel sets, or their like studio tables and things like that, because I just find it like really like pleasurable to like look. And I love looking at like old art supplies as well, like when you see like old Winsor and Newton palettes, like, or like old Derwent pencil sets. Oh my god, I love it so much. I absolutely love it. There's actually like one picture where somebody has made like a travel art like bag, where you unzip the bag completely, and there's all like individual like little pockets where you kind of like put your pencils and put your bits and bobs, and I was like, oh my god, that looks amazing. And I bought all the stuff to do it, because like, obviously I kind of thought we were going to be going back to uni this year, and we weren't going to be just working from home, we were going to be traveling. And you know what, we will be traveling, just not right now. So I'm still going to make it, I'm still going to do it. And I don't know whether anyone else shops at Cassart, but they have these fantastic bags. They're like these like tote bags where they're long, and you can fit like a full-on A3 sketch pad in there. So I bought the indigo one, and I bought like these long like indigo blue zippers to stitch either side. But then looking at the design, it kind of looks like there could be like a bit of a gap when you zip it up. So if you like throw something in, or like one of the pens comes loose, I'm a little bit paranoid that they're going to just fall out. So I also bought some poppers as well, just to see if I can figure something out where I can put the bag together and then maybe put two poppers on the inside, just to kind of keep all my materials together so nothing like falls out. Oh, I just absolutely love like just crafting and just making like random things. Like another thing that I've seen is somebody's made like a porcelain palette, because like as artists, everyone has their own little weird ways of doing things, and we might not necessarily use things the way like they should be used. And having that freedom to just make a palette like however you want to make it. Like this one person, they had like ridges, so like obviously when you're like cleaning your brush, it's kind of got like a bit of friction in there as well, so it's like you can kind of like mix and do, I don't know, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Just looks amazing. I want to make it. I want to make my own palette. I want to do porcelain, want to make my own palette. Oh my god, sometimes when I waffle, I'm just like, what am I talking about? What am I trying to say? Why do I sound like an idiot? I'm just like, kind of want to do that. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I hate it. I absolutely hate listening to myself just waffle on. I'm like, honestly, sometimes I sit there and I'm thinking, when I upload a video, I'm like, what the hell am I saying? What the hell are these people thinking of me? Like, chatting crap. Utter crap. But yeah, talking about porcelain, I really want to book onto a course to do just like the basics in like clay, because obviously I mess around with things like Fimo and stuff like that, but I want something more permanent. I've been on this search for years for my perfect mug, like my perfect mug of all time, and I know what I'm looking for. Like I know what I want, but I don't think it exists. I thought it existed. I found like this set on eBay, and they were the shape that I wanted. I want them like big at the bottom, kind of going up like a tube where they're smaller at the top, and I want like a nice wash on it, like preferably like a brown, like quite earthy looking, kind of like a bit handmadey. And I seen these mugs and they were literally perfect. They were perfect. I was like, these are the mugs that I'm gonna get. Bought them. Did I look at the size? No, obviously I didn't, because when they turned up, they were half the size of what I wanted them to be. Oh, they're about 14 centimeters tall. They're so tiny. They're not going to get my, like, you know, coffee addiction size, like, quantities into them. Coffee. I probably had to, like, fill all 4 cups. I thought I was getting, like, a proper deal as well. There was, like, all 4 cups for like £15, I think they were, and they are beautiful, and I will use them. Maybe if I have like guests or something like that, and I'll have to have like a vat of coffee and be like, I'm sorry that these are tiny childlike cups, but they're pretty. But yeah, I'd love to do like a pottery course and just like make my own mug to like the exact standards that I want, like the exact ones that I want. Also, by the way, in the open of the video, I guess that you're seeing like me making me coffee, making me like my own version of a pumpkin spice latte. I was looking at milk frothers, because like we don't have like a proper coffee machine. We use an AeroPress, which is a, you know, it is a coffee machine. It's like, well, machine. It's a handmade, hand pumped machine, not a machine like a machine. What am I talking about? Again, ramble. I use an AeroPress. So that's what I'm using. But obviously I want the frothy milk. I want that. I'm like, that's one thing with being in lockdown. I don't want to just go out and get a coffee, even though I could drive to the Starbucks. It's not like, it's not safe. You shouldn't be doing that. So I found a way of making my frothy coffee without spending £50 on a coffee frother. I don't even know if it's called a coffee frother. That's what I'm calling it. So I warm my milk up, and then I pour it into my cafetiere, and then I pump my cafetiere, and then just like, you know, bang the bubbles out of it and swill it round, and you get lovely frothy milk, lovely foamy frothy milk. And that is how I've been doing my coffees. And you know what? Putting a little bit of cinnamon on top. Think I'm at Starbucks, honestly. I'm gonna have a sip now, actually. Oh yeah. Coffee. Coffee and art. Coffee and art. But yeah, let's talk about what I'm doing here. I am just waffling. I'm having such a lovely time right now. Look at that. Do you know what? Again, it's like people think that like abstract art, like kids could do it.
It's a bit more complex than that.
But honestly, I challenge anyone who thinks that, make some abstract art yourself at home and try and make something that you would be proud of and that you would like, with like complementary colours. And like, there is a skill to it. There is a skill. There is a freedom in it, definitely, but that freedom can be quite frightening. But again, like I was saying in like the last video, where there are creative blocks and there are things stopping us from doing what we want to do right now, and a little bit of freedom is what we need. And honestly, I challenge every single person who watches these videos to pick up a pen and paper, get some art supplies, even if they're just cheapo, like art supplies that the kids have got, and just make something. Doesn't even matter if you keep it, you could throw it away at the end because it doesn't matter, as long as you're doing something and keeping like your mind like creative and rolling. But going back to things like deals where you buy something and it's not how it came. For Christmas, Red got me the giant box of Carcassonne. Now, if you don't know what Carcassonne is, it's the best game ever, hands down. It's like a puzzle game and a board game like mixed into one. You've got all these tiles and you build castles. It sounds like really nerdy, I know, and you know what, it's honestly, it's one of the most fun games ever. Every time we play it, we have a drink and we put on medieval music and we have it on in the background while we're playing. It's amazing. I challenge everybody to go and play Carcassonne. I'm challenging everyone to do art. I'm challenging everyone to play Carcassonne. I'm just challenging you all to do something. Honestly, you can just sit and watch this. You don't even have to do any of this. I'm just chatting. So yeah, Carcassonne. So Red gets me the extended box. It turns out there's not just like one. I thought there was like one expansion pack. There's like 15 expansion packs, something crazy like that. So he gets me this huge box for Christmas, and he was like, I got a really great deal on it. And then it came, and it's all in Italian, and there's no English instructions. Luckily, we live in a day and age where you can just look up the PDF online. But oh, that made me laugh. But the original one that we had, I think it was all in German. And there was, I think Red got it in a charity shop. And there was actual, like, written instructions in English, like, on a piece of, like, lined paper on the inside. And it's a pretty, like, universal game. It's, like, you don't have to, like, there's no, like, actual, like, any bits on the tiles where there's actual words. It's just, like, the actual instructions that you need. But, oh, it's such a fun game. It's so fun. And, like, we played it at Christmas. And there was, like, me, my mum and dad, my sister, my brother-in-law, and my nan, who's, like, 86. And she won. It was absolutely brilliant. We had such a laugh when we played it. Oh, here what I'm doing, just to go back to the art, instead of just waffling on about games, I'm actually using salt. When you actually put salt on the watercolour, it reacts and you get like really interesting patterns once it's like all dried. So different types of salt have different types of effects. So on this, I'm just using rock salt. Oh my god, I'm hiccuping away. Oh, I'm so professional. I'm not even going to go back and cut that out. The problems in having a cat. Edie is such a monkey, like, oh my gosh. I have to, like, at the moment I'm actually working in the kitchen because it's just so cold outside, so I've kind of got like a second studio in my kitchen, and I'm actually sat at my kitchen table here. Here you can actually see all of the salt and the way that the salt is like affected the paper. Like, how cool is that? I actually used some of the FW shimmers that I tested in the first video. Oh, everyone knows how I feel about those, but like, how fab does that look? Oh my god. So there's like giant like craters. Oh, it's so cool. Just dead interesting to look at. I'm just thinking like one little household thing that everybody has in. Even table salt, like that reacts and gives you like different patterns, which is like, oh, it's so cool. But going back to Edie, oh my god, so my kitchen. So I've got my kitchen table all set up, and when I do a watercolour, I'll leave it out at night. And now I've got to make sure I close my kitchen door like every time I leave, and I've got work set out, because she just makes a beeline and just wants to walk all over them. And I'm like, Edie, no, Edie, no. And like she'd walked all over the table, all over the paper that I had laid. She walked all through the house. There was like little water print marks like all over my kitchen table. Honestly, little kitty cat, she drives me mad, honestly, but I wouldn't change her. I love her. I love her so much. We got a brand new yellow chair as well. My sister, we did a trade. I gave my sister a chair that I had, and she gave me this big yellow chair from IKEA that I've been lusting after for literally about a year. And Edie has just made it hers, and it makes me so sad every time she sat on it, and then she gets a little claws, and it's like we've got to kick her out the room because she just keeps going at like using it as a scratchy post. And I'm just like, no, it's not happening. You've ruined me rug, you're not ruining my chair. No. Like, I love this chair so much. People are like, why don't you spray that like lemon spray on the things? Like you get like these like anti-scratch like sprays. Oh no, this cat isn't even bothered by them. She doesn't even flinch. So if anyone's got any suggestions about how to get your cat to stop scratching your furniture, please let me know in the comments. Just please. And just while you're down there, if you want to give this video a like and subscribe, I would much appreciate it. I would much appreciate it. Oh my days. Just waffling on. Waffling and drawing, waffling and drawing. We're waffling and we're drawing. So I'm using the Staedtler Tri-Plus liners that I was in the last video. And what I'm doing here, I just thought, I like doing like little embellishments. So I've got my little watercolour going on, and just to give it that extra little bit of pizzazz, I thought what I'd go and I'd find like different areas to fill in, like using those exercises that we did last week, the freeform line drawing and not thinking, and just filling in little spaces where I feel like there could be something a bit more, just popping them all in there, just like pop, like I am with these little dots, pop. So yeah. I really love doing like this type of watercolour, and I'm actually thinking about maybe doing watercolour Wednesdays as well. I'm thinking like this could be like quite a nice little vlog to do, where I sit and I do my painting and I just talk about whatever's on my mind. Just free flowing chat, which is quite nice, especially when like, you know, Red's in work all day, I'm with Jackson all day, which honestly is like the best. Oh, I love him so much. But sometimes when you've watched Postman Pat for 3 hours on the go when he's asleep, it's nice to just come and talk and decompress a little bit. He's getting to that point now where it's just like he's obsessed with Postman Pat. I hope that he's going to be like one of these kids that's like, I want to wear my Postman Pat outfit to the shops. Or like, I want to dress as Spider-Man. Mum, can I wear my Spider-Man uniform? Can I wear my Spider-Man outfit to Asda? Like, I just think that would just be like the cutest thing. I don't know why he's got like a dead northern accent, like proper northern. Oh, I'm going to wear my Spider-Man outfit. Don't know why he's talking like that, but that's the voice that I give him when I'm doing an impression. I think he's going to be an artist though, because every time I've completed a watercolour, I show him the drawings that I do, and he gets dead excited and he tries to grab it. But that literally just could be because he's a baby and he just sees colours. But he loves watching watercolour videos. We'll sit there and we'll watch like YouTube art videos, and oh, he loves it so much. It's so cute. We watched this one lady called The Unexpected Gypsy. Like, oh, her channel is so calming and lovely. She's got such a lovely demeanour. Like, she's just so relaxing to just sit and listen to. If you like videos where you just got like a lovely lady sitting talking to you about the art that she makes and what a day's been like, The Unexpected Gypsy is your channel, and I highly recommend that you go follow it. What kind of channels does everybody follow? Like, what videos does everyone watch? I like watching, me and Red watch a channel called Defunctland, and it's this guy who talks about Disney, like the rides at Disney, like specifically, and he's gonna make like a virtual park of like defunct rides. So like the Jaws ride from, it's not necessarily just Disney, just like like rides in general from different parks. But he does like deep dives on like certain rides and stuff like that. Oh, it's so interesting. Like the one that what did we watch recently? Oh, what's it called? 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. That's the one. So he's actually done a VR like video. It's the coolest thing. It's like him and a team of animators, and they kind of like recreated the ride. But he does like really great like deep dives. Like he did one, Defunct TV, the history of Mousicize, where there was like when like aerobics kind of like took off in the 80s, Disney did like aerobicized videos called Mousicize. Oh my gosh, it was like it was just hilarious. And there was the history of Disney's teen nightclub Videopolis. I think that's how you say it. Videopolis. Oh my gosh. So it was like pure drama. But he did like a really long series on like the Muppets. Oh, not on like the Muppets, on the Muppets. Why do I have to throw a like in everywhere? I'm like this video, like. And I didn't know this as well. Like in America, there are like multiple themed parks about Santa Claus. Like multiple Christmas theme parks, and there's like a big like war on like different like who was the first and who was the original. Yeah, it's so interesting. So that's a really good channel, Defunct Land. And another channel that I'm really obsessed with is All Gas No Brakes. Like this guy is crazy. He goes around to like different like conventions and like different like strange things that are going on and goes and reports. And his style of editing is just absolutely brilliant. He does kind of come across like he is taking the piss out of a lot of these people, but oh, it's so good. And Vice did a video on him and like his style of journalism. Oh, that's a high on the recommend list. Yeah, All Gas No Brakes. All Gas No Brakes. All Gas No Brakes.
All Gas No Brakes.
I'm trying to think what else. And watch Bailey Sarian as well. If you like true crime and you like makeup, she does Murder Mystery and Makeup Mondays, and that's a really good channel too. That's a really good channel. But yeah, most of my days at the moment are literally I get up, I do my yoga, and I am like plowing away at doing this yoga. Like I am so proud of myself. I did think that I wasn't going to be doing it every day, but I've got up and I've not broke my streak, and I'm going to do a video on it of like how I feel after 30 days, because it's coming up fast. It's coming up very, very quick. By the time I post this video, it's actually probably going to be hitting 30 if nothing goes wrong in the next few days, which I hope it doesn't. But yeah, I get up, I do my yoga, I feed Jackson. We've just started weaning as well, so that's a whole new thing that he's got to get used to, bless him. And then we watch a bit of Postman Pat, and I do some of my drawings. I think that's another reason why I've set up like a second studio in my kitchen, is because I can't always get out to the studio, because obviously being a mum and, you know, not being able to leave him on his own, he can't come out into the studio with me. It's too cold and too dangerous. So having the high chair next to me, well, you know, I can post some hat on for him, and I can either do some journaling or or I can, you know, crack on with doing my paintings and stuff, which, you know, it's perfect really. And he likes sitting and watching me, but it's also kind of good where I can just drop and leave everything the way it is, and then just go into the living room and just kind of give him a cuddle if he needs a little cuddle, because sometimes he just needs a little cuddle off his mum. Sometimes he just needs a little cuddle. And journaling, I've been keeping up with me journaling too, and I'm actually starting to get back into art journaling. God, a few years ago, God, it must be like over a decade ago now, about 2007, 2008, I had a really detailed art journal, and I miss collaging. Like, I've started collaging again as well. Like, collaging is such a calming, therapeutic thing to do. We bought this new printer. It's an Epson 3750. and it's like does 14,000 prints or something like that in one run of ink, which is like 35 quid. So we've just been printing off like crazy. But I printed off like loads of stuff to collage, like all the things that I collect on Pinterest. I've just kind of started like making a file of which ones I want to print off that I can put in my journals, because it's like it's there and I've got them and I do look at them. So I was like, well, why don't I just print off some of these things and then pop them into my journals? So I think I'm going to do a little video on that, and like how I've been prepping my pages. I've been kind of doing it with watercolour and then, you know, putting my little bits and bobs on top. But yeah, journaling again is so good for you. It's so good when, especially times like this where you can't necessarily just like get out and like talk, and even though you're talking to people on FaceTime and stuff like that, it's not the same. And sometimes you need to kind of decompress your thoughts, and you just want to write down, like, well, not necessarily you want to write down, but it's a good idea to write stuff down. Even like your innermost feelings and your thoughts, where it's like mind dumping, I call it mind dumping. It's like I get all the crap that's in my mind and I dump it onto the page. And I think a lot of people think like, oh God, you know, what if someone finds it? So what? You're in your house. You should trust the people that you live with, and if not, just find a nice secret place to put it. Under the mattress. Keep it under your pillow. But yeah, that is it for Studio Sundays this week. Here's a little work that I did. I whacked some gouache on, did a few more embellishments with the FW ink. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. Love you guys. Bye.